G'day everyone, it's time for another exciting ROM hacking adventure with Ocarina of Time. This time it's for Hero of Lore, an Ace Attorney mixed with Legend of Zelda Beauty. Honestly, if you're a huge fan of Ace Attorney, you'll love this mod. And if you're a huge fan of Ocarina of Time, you'll also love this mod. This mod is beautiful, fantastic, and absolutely wacky and out of this world. This mod, however, requires a little bit of extra steps to get it all working exactly how it should. First things first, creating the ROM itself is incredibly easy. You head to the newerteam.com/hole and you get Hero of Lore. On the page there is a giant thing that says Patch ROM! This ROM will allow you to patch pretty much any Ocarina of Time ROM, any Ocarina of Time WAD, which is for the Wii and GameCube, and it does it all by pressing the patch ROM. It will sort it out for you. So you press the patch ROM button and then select whatever Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the format that you want to play it, be it Wii, be it Wii U, be it Nintendo 64 emulation, and then you select that, press open, and it'll create the ROM for you. You then use that ROM on your emulator of choice, and for the most part, you're done. However, this ROM in particular wants to make use of physical hardware in fun, unique, and interesting ways, such as the Rumble Pack, Transfer Pack, the voice recognition module, and the Nintendo 64 mouse. If you have all these things and you plug them in, it will work. However, when it comes to emulation, it's not so easy. What the voice recognition module is allows you to shout "Objection! Hold it!" and various other things, and the game will actually respond to your voice commands. It has been tested, but I can't test it, so I can't confirm. The Transfer Pack is used for connecting certain GB games at an appropriate time that allow you to get access to special extras once you have beaten the game. The game takes about 4 hours to beat, so it's not excessively long game, but it is very fun and full of charm. If you do not have a Transfer Pack, worry not. There is a way in order to get the extras without going through any of the Transfer Pack stuff. However, to be noted, there is some sneaky extras you can do if you do a save file in a specific order. But I'll talk about that more in the spoiler section at the end of the video. Now, once you have your ROM on, you're going to use whatever ROM emulator you want, and the game will naturally work with just your controller. You do not need any of the extra peripherals. However, if you want to get the extra peripherals, you're going to need to use OOT, Majora's Mask, Project 64-EM, or one of the other emulators that are suggested, which is Ares and Simple 64 or Roslia's Mupen GUI. It's all up to you. However, it is recommended to use Project 64-EM specifically just so you can use the Transfer Pack. Once you have your Project 64-EM downloaded from the releases page, it will look a folder something like this. We're going to open up our Project 64 and we're going to set it up with the basic stuff of selecting our ROM. Once we have the Project 64-EM available to us, the reason why we're using this is so that we can use the configuration that automatically has the plugin N-Rage for Project 64 for the input controller plugin. And this will allow us to use the N64 mouse, the Transfer Pack, and that's about it really. So we select our N-Rage for Project 64 and we can then head over to our input settings. Once we're in our input settings, we can choose X input if we wish, or we can just manually select all the inputs naturally, and then in controller 2 we want to select N64 on mouse. Now you need to select this before opening your ROM, otherwise it won't save settings and it just won't work. One of the bigger issues with this is in the devices. The mouse sensitivity for a lot of cases is based on the Windows mouse sensitivity, and if you have high DPI, it's going to be incredibly hard to control the N64 mouse, so you want to reduce that down quite a bit depending on your DPI, or raise it quite a bit depending on your DPI. More likely you're going to want to lower it. You then want to select your A button to be left click, your B button to be right click. You then press on up, move the mouse left, move the mouse right, move the mouse down, and that should make the mouse work. And we can prove this by going to the extra game number 2. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead. Actually, we'll go spoilers right now. Once you have beaten the game, you'll get extras. One of the extras is Extra 2, which is a card minigame where you can use the N64 mouse to select cards and up your wager for your bet. In the game itself, there are certain moments where you can select parts of the evidence to show it to the judge and the jury in order to better explain evidence. I don't know, select evidence. Like, look at this part of the evidence, it has the person's name. That sort of thing. And then once we beat the game, it'll give us extra event number 1, which is Super Marin. Because everyone knows Marin is Mario. Once you beat Super Mario, he will tell you a hint about 2 games. One about a special song whale, another about changing seasons or changing time. And these are a reference to 2 GB games, Oracle of Seasons and Ages and Link's Awakening. So we're going to need the GB ROM for Link's Awakening and Oracle Seasons of Ages, and we're going to use the transfer pack in the input settings to gain access to these extra details. Now, if you do not have access to the transfer pack, worry not, there is a way around. We want to head to the brightness setting in the main menu, and we're going to input a song from Ocarina of Time that is most likely to cause the events of Link's Awakening, which can be found in the README file in the troubleshooting step for, hey, if you don't have it, don't worry, and tells you that exact hint. And for the answer to that hint, well, it's a Song of Storms. A, C down, C up, A, C down, C up. This will here make a jingle appear, go bling. Once the jingle happens, you know that you have access to all the extras. However, if you want to use the transfer pack, you're going to need to do a little bit of extra steps. We're going to head to Controller 1 back in the input settings. We're going to head to the controller pack, and we're going to select Transfer Pack. In the transfer pack, we then need to select the GB ROM for the game we want, being Link's Awakening of Oracle Seasons and Ages, and then we need to select a save file for that. Depending on our save file, it will affect how one of the extras plays out for the Link's Awakening save file, which is based upon Link being a thief and having his name permanently changed because of this issue, turning Link from having his name Link into a thief. And we then have to resolve this issue in extra number 3. In extra number 2, by using Oracle Seasons and Ages, we get the aforementioned gambling minigame with Igo after the events of Hero of Lore game itself. And that's about it. That's everything you need to know about Hero of Lore and getting access to the secret extras in the ROM hack. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel quite a bit. The newer team have done a fantastic job with this ROM hack, and I very much enjoyed it. If you wish to have someone read out every single line of dialogue with funny and wacky voices that sometimes are applicable to the characters, you can watch my live stream in the description below as well. I live streamed the whole ROM hack. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun setting this game up for you. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.